What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, y'all? Come on up in here. Come on up in here. Just got this. I know y'all been waiting on this response, and I just got it. So let's go ahead and see what is going on. Y'all come up in. I'll give y'all a few minutes to come up in here. Go ahead and play my intro, and we'll get moving. All right, y'all. All right. Here we go. So let's see what the response is from the government. Let me minimize this here. Matter of fact, let me minimize myself. And let's get this thing going. Let's see. Response right here. Here we go. Okay, y'all. So this was sent out today from the government, July 6th. This is to the Honorable Ann M. Donnelly. United States versus Robert Sylvester Kelly. Says here, Dear Judge Donnelly, the government respectfully writes... Oh, okay. Damn. The defendant cites two bases for his motion for temporary release: the need to prepare for trial and the risk of becoming seriously ill should he contract COVID-19. As set forth below, neither serves as a basis for temporary relief, and the motion should be... Hold on. What is this behind here? What is that? Hold on, y'all. I don't know what this is back here. Attention of Devereux L. Canics as one of his attorneys in this matter, and Mr. Canics' need for additional time to review discovery with the defendant and prepare for trial for almost 2 years. Respect to this motion, defendant replies, attorneys need review for discovery, defendant prepare for trial because at least one of the defendants. Hold on, basis for relief. Okay, with respect to this motion for unspecified adjournment of trial, the defendant relies on his recent retention of Devereux as one of the attorneys in this matter, and Mr. Canics' need for additional time to review discovery with the defendant and prepare for trial. Because at least one of the defendant's attorneys has represented the defendant in this matter for almost 2 years, the government respectfully submits that an adjournment is not warranted and motion should be denied. Let's see what else it says. Motion for temporary release. On August 2nd, 2019, after upholding a detention hearing, the Honorable Stephen Tisone, whatever his name is, magistrate judge in the Eastern District of New York, entered a permanent order of detention against the defendant pending his trial. This was CEFG docket 18. Minute entry reflecting denial for bail after detention hearing. Okay. During the hearing, Judge Tisone found that given the nature of the charges against the defendant, which at that time spanned from 1997 to 2018, and included allegations of sexual abuse of minors, coercion of minors, and child pornography. Hold on. The defendant's history of similar allegations. Number 3, the defendant's opportunity to flee, given his access to financial resources. Number 4, the defendant's incentive to flee, given the seriousness of the charges in this district of Northern District of Illinois. Number 5, the defendant's potential obstruction in his prior trial and the strong possibility of witness tampering if he were released. And number 6, the fact that certain of the alleged crimes took place while the defendant was on bail during his previous trial. The defendant cannot be relieved upon or relied upon to comply with the conditions of release. September 30th, 2019, Detective blah, 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 at 15 and 16. Judge Tisone therefore concluded that no condition or combination of conditions will reasonably assure the appearance of the defendant and the safety of the community, and ordered the defendant to be detained pending trial. On October 2nd, 2019, after reviewing briefing on the issue and holding oral argument, the court affirmed the order of detention. See October 2nd, 2019, minute entry reflecting the court's denial of the defendant's motion for release after discussion with the parties. Beginning on March 26, 2020, the defendant moved on several occasions for bail. Each of these motions was denied, and the Second Circuit affirmed the denial of the last motion on September 8th of 2020. The Second Circuit explained, "We perceive no clear error in the district court's determination that the government has demonstrated by clear and convincing evidence that Kelly presents risk of a danger to the community, and by the preponderance of evidence that Kelly presents a flight risk, and moreover, that no condition or combination of conditions could assure against those risks." Likewise, the court did not clearly err in determining that Kelly failed to demonstrate a compelling reason for a temporary release. We assume that adequate opportunity for consultation with counsel will be assured as a matter of trial administration by the judges who will preside over the two trials. So they pretty much just letting them know. That, you know what, this is the same story. We done seen this before, right? United States versus Kelly. Under the Bail Reform Act, 18 U.S.C., a judicial officer may, by subsequent order, permit the temporary release of a person in the custody of the United States Marshal or another appropriate person, to the extent that the judicial officer determines such release to be necessary for preparation of the person's defense or for another compelling reason. Notably, his provision has been used sparingly to commit a defendant's release where, for example, he is suffering from a terminal illness or serious injuries. United States versus Hamilton. Here we go. Pull this up. Hold on. Page 3. It's 5 pages, y'all. Here we go. Analysis. There is no compelling basis to grant the defendant's motion for temporary relief. As an initial matter, the COVID-19 pandemic does not serve as a basis for his temporary release. Indeed, the Second Circuit previously denied his release on this very ground, and the court remains bound to the circuit's denial of release. Moreover, his argument that release is justified on account of a pandemic is even less compelling than it was when he made the same arguments that were rejected by the Second Circuit and this court. Unlike then, the defendant, along with many other inmates at the Brooklyn MDC, has now been fully vaccinated against the COVID-19, significantly reducing the risk associated with COVID-19. Nor the defendant's current access to counsel a basis for temporary release. As described in detail in letter of Stephen Greenberg, counsel has had ample opportunity to meet with the defendant to review the discovery provided pursuant to both Rule 16 and 18 USC at 3500. That's the 3500 material. So they saying he did get it. So they saying he did receive the material, y'all. They trying to say that he never received one sheet. So they lying. The Chicago MCC. Hold on. The Chicago MCC. Let me turn these notifications down. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay. The Chicago MCC facilitated FaceTime calls allowing the defendant and his attorneys to meet in 2-hour increments 3 times a week. In addition, while housing at the Chicago MCC, the defendant regularly met in person with his attorneys to review discovery and prepare for trial. Moreover, as soon as the defendant is released from quarantine, which should occur on or about July 7th or July 7th, which will be tomorrow, the defendant will have ample access to his counsel at the Brooklyn MDC. Importantly, legal counsel at the Brooklyn MDC has confirmed that the defendant will not, that is underlined, they're putting the emphasis on not, will not be subject to a further quarantine upon returning from any court proceedings, that therefore counsel will be permitted to visit him at the Brooklyn MDC. Second, legal counsel at the Brooklyn MDC has made clear that the defendant's attorneys will be permitted to visit him on a daily basis and will also be permitted to meet with him by video and teleconference. Wow. So they are pretty much laying it thick, y'all, that he's going to have all the access he wants to his attorneys. They able to come see him every single day if they want to. Here we go. In any event, the defendant has not posted, whatever that is, posted an individual who would take custody of him should he be granted release. And the government is not aware of anyone who could fulfill this role. Let me read that again. It says here, in any event, the defendant has not, I don't know what posited or posted is, but I would assume that means presented. An individual who would take custody of him should he be granted release, and the government is not aware of anyone who would or who could fulfill this role. The Brooklyn MDC has advised that lawyers may visit in person between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. 7 days a week, as frequently as they desire. So that means if he wanted his lawyers to come and meet with him from 8 to 8, that is 12 hours a day. That is 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours a day. They are allowed to from 8 to 8. It says 7 days a week, as frequently as they desire. There is an online system for scheduling meetings to be followed up by an email to a dedicated email address for booking legal visits at the MDC. If attorneys need to book more than an hour block on the online schedule, such a need can be indicated in the booking email and will be accommodated. Scheduling meetings occur in separate meeting rooms, which are booked by room number and online schedule. In addition, walk-in visits are available from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., which visits usually occur in the common area for attorneys with last-minute matters. Finally, lawyers may also communicate with the defendant through VTC calls. Let's move on. Page 4. Here we go. All right. It's getting juicy now, y'all. By legal counsel at the Brooklyn MDC, and in absence of any information to the contrary, the defendant's motion should be denied. Motion for adjournment of trial. The defendant was arrested on July 11, 2019, following the return of an indictment by a grand jury in the Eastern District of New York. On February 9, 2021, the court scheduled trial to commence on August 9th of 2021. EFTC minute entry dated February 9, 2021. After all, on April 19, 2021, attorney Nicole Blank Becker moved pro has vis, whatever that is, to represent the defendant in the EDNY matter. And on June 22nd, 2021, attorney Devereaux L. Canick filed a notice of appearance to represent the defendant. Both Ms. Becker and Mr. Canick's notices were filed well after and with full awareness. Well after and with full awareness of the court having scheduled trial to commence on August 9th, 2021. Thank you, 100 Devices, thank you. The defendant is thus currently represented by 5 attorneys, although 2 of them have moved to withdraw following the defendant's apparent termination of them. In support of his motion for an adjournment, one of the defendant's attorneys, Mr. Canick, cites that he was retained on June 21st, 2021 and needs additional time to review discovery with the defendant and prepare for trial. To the extent that Mr. Canick relies on the defendant's quarantine status and alleged expected difficulties meeting with him at the Brooklyn MDC as set forth above, those concerns are not warranted. First of all, the defendant will have concluded his quarantine status by July 8th of 2021, which they say July 7th, but let's say the 8th right here. And the MDC has confirmed that he and all other inmates will no longer be subject to further quarantine upon returning. So what they're talking about here, y'all, is the defense was trying to say that every time they release R. Kelly to go meet with his attorneys, they were trying to say that he'll have to go back into quarantine, which is going to then make sure that he's back in there for 14 days. They won't have no time to meet with him. So the MDC is saying that's not true. He won't have to go back into quarantine after this 14-day quarantine. Okay? All right, here we go. Boom, 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 boom. Will no longer be subject to foreign quarantine. Okay, Mr. Canick, as well as defendant's other attorneys, will therefore have ample opportunity to meet with the defendant in person 7 days a week, if they so choose, in addition to their ability to communicate with him via phone and VTC calls. Moreover, because at least one of the defendant's attorneys has represented the defendant in this matter for almost 2 years. See the notice of appearance by Thomas A. Farinella, dated August 2nd, 2019. The government respectfully submits that an adjournment based on Mr. Canick's recent appearance in his matter is not warranted. In this matter is not warranted. As Mr. Canick concedes, he was aware of the trial date before agreeing to join the defense team. Now, indeed, during the court appearance on June 17, 2021, when Ms. Becker raised the prospect of an individual attorney joining the defense team, the court made clear that such an addition would not be a basis for an adjournment of trial. See June 17th, 2021, Crucial hearing at 55 and 56. I'm not sure if you're asking for an adjournment. I think you are. I assume this is what Judge Donnelly is saying. But I set this trial date some time ago, and I know Mr. Kelly wants a speedy trial. Now, I believe I tried to set a trial date in January. So I'm not moving the trial date. Y'all listen to this. Listen to this now. She said, but I set this trial date some time ago, and I know Mr. Kelly wants a speedy trial. I believe I tried to set a date in January, so I'm not moving the trial date. She ain't playing, y'all. She ain't playing. And if there is another attorney who wants to join in the defense, that's entirely up to you, Mr. Kelly. In these circumstances, an adjournment is particularly inappropriate, whereas here, the charges against the defendant involve identified victims who also have an interest in prompt resolution of the charges against the defendant. See 18 U.S.C. 3771. Crimes against crime victims have the right to proceedings free from unreasonable delay. All right. This says, hold on. Okay, conclusion. For the reasons stated herein and in the government's prior submissions related to the defendant's detention and history of obstruction, the defendant's fourth emergency motion for release, as well as his motion for an adjournment of trial, should be denied. Respectfully submitted, Jacqueline M. Counsel, Acting United States Attorney. And the other attorneys on here are Elizabeth Jedis, Nadia Shihara, Maria Cruz Melendez, and they are the assistant U.S. attorneys. And y'all, that is the info. So, that's it. I don't see her moving this trial at all. I see another denial, y'all. I see a fifth denial coming. Unfortunately. But listen, she told the man before, listen, you can add as many attorneys as you want to. Add as many as you want. But y'all done had 2 years to get ready for this trial. Now, Farinelli, you done been on since day one, bruh. Greenberg been on. Leonard. So all she might do is say, you know what? In fairness to you, Mr. Kelly, I don't want you to be represented by inadequate attorneys. I don't want you to be at a disadvantage when you come into this court on August 9th. So what I am going to do is I'm going to make sure that you have an experienced team of attorneys who know this case inside out and who have told me that they are ready to go to trial. I'm doing this in your best interest, and I know you'll appreciate it. So, Greenberg and Leonard, I am going to deny your request to get off of this case because I believe that you want to do what's best for Mr. Kelly. So we're going to keep you on so that y'all have a very strong and experienced team of attorneys that are ready to tackle this and give it the best shot for this man to be released. So I'm going to deny your removal request, and I'm going to allow y'all to come in here and defend your client on August 9th. Everybody have a great day, and this motion is going to be denied. Okay, y'all. That's it. Everybody have a great day. This is not a game. Let me see what y'all talking about here in the chat. Let me see what y'all talking about. Let me see what y'all talking about. Let me see. Karen J said, say that Atmos with the roll of the tongue. Yeah, I got it. Thank y'all for the super chats, by the way. I'm sure that Diva, the Divine Light, and the attorney Esquire are definitely going to touch on this. Also, don't forget that Diva and Esquire are going to finish up the other 76 through 89 on the pages. for the original, for the questionnaire for the instructions to the jury and things like that. But yeah, y'all, yeah, that's what it is. I don't see her granting this. She's already told them that no matter what they do, she's not going to move this trial. So it is what it is. I don't see any reason why she would, just because they added another attorney onto here. There have been further safety things put into place to make sure that COVID-19 is not a reason why they have to move the case. I think he's done, y'all. He done, and it sucks. It sucks because like the strategy at first, it was like, okay, what are they doing? Okay, maybe they got something here. Not after that. The government was smart. They took Judge Donnelly's words and are using them against her. Like, hey, you said you weren't gonna do this, so there ain't no way you can go back on your word. No matter what they talking about, we got them. Don't worry about that. They already told you they ready, so let's go. Now, the way that they kind of seal this whole thing together, if you was paying attention, is they say the plaintiff and the witnesses have a right to get this thing over with too. Why should they have to continue to get doxxed and harassed and put all out on social media and let this thing keep dragging on? They deserve a speedy trial too. They want to move on with their lives. So we're not going to let them continue to go through this anymore either. Let's continue to go forward. It makes no sense for everybody to march to his beat because he decides he wants to fire his attorneys who've been there with him since the beginning. No, it ain't going to happen. So for everybody out there that is hoping and wishing and saying that people are doing rallies and walking around the building 20 times and doing all this kind of stuff and thinking that this man's about to walk out of there because of this, it's not going to happen. Time ran out. Time run out. So it sounds like the trial will still go on August 9th. That's right, Bo. Sounds like it's going to be a trial still on August 9th and the bond will be denied. That's what it sounds like to me. I don't think you're going to let him walk off. Nope. And I mean, man, listen. All right, y'all. Listen, I love y'all. I'm not going to keep y'all long because I know it's a lot going on. Dana, I ain't mean to cut into your live and everything, but I wanted to make sure that my people got this information so that by the time the other side decides to spin it the way they want to, everybody here actually can read it and they know exactly what's going on. Okay. All right, y'all. I love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'll holler at y'all later. Make sure y'all already know about the battle going on Thursday. So everybody have a blessed day. Thank y'all for tuning in. Peace.